Hey guys, welcome to Fox 5 News Live. I'm Judea Murray. If you've never been with us before, here's how this kind of news conversation works. First of all, it's interactive. So we are live right now on TikTok, YouTube, a couple of other social media channels. If you want to weigh in with a comment, a question about maybe something a reporter's talking about, or maybe I haven't talked yet about a story that you would like to learn more about, the best thing to do is hit us up in one of those live chats. Let me know what you're thinking, and I may even be able to bring that up on the screen and talk to you like in real time. It's actually kind of cool. But one thing that I know everybody's looking forward to tonight, just in case you didn't know, President Donald Trump is expected to deliver his State of the Union address, during which he'll talk about a lot of different things, and it could include immigration. And I know a lot of you guys want to know more about ICE and what presence they're going to have in the U.S. moving forward. So we're expecting that to be one of the topics that he touches on during this session. But while we're talking about the State of the Union address, of course, I will let you know more about when you can watch it, where you can watch it, and what will happen when the Democrats have their rebuttal. Taking a look on your screen there, the governor who will be giving that rebuttal a little later on. We'll talk more about that towards the end of the live stream, so stick around with us. But more locally, here in Atlanta, Fulton County Board of Commissioners chairman is delivering his own State of the County. Now, like I said, Fulton County encompasses a lot of Atlanta, and so we'll be talking more about what you can expect to come up ahead. I want to bring in our Billy Heath, who is out there live for the State of the County address. Billy, can you talk to us a little bit about what was talked about, what the importance of this particular address was?
Hey, good morning, Judea. So yeah, I was inside for the Fulton County State of the Union address, and it's a time for Fulton County leaders to come together to celebrate their accomplishments and set their vision for the year going forward. And Chairman Rob Pitts was up there. He came out to "Ain't No Stopping Us Now." I think that set the theme for his remarks, and he made a lot of remarks talking about Fulton County's economy and the growth there. He talked about growth in health care. One of the things that he highlighted was that Grady will be bringing a new emergency center to South Fulton, which has long been seen as sort of a medical desert, if you will. So a lot of talk about that. One thing that I think a lot of folks were waiting to hear about to see if remarks were going to be made was about the FBI raid that we've seen in the headlines recently in Fulton County. And Chairman Pitts did make remarks about that, and you can listen to those now.
Last but not least, elections. Our elections are safe and they're strong, in spite of what you might hear, in spite of what you might read. And despite an unannounced raid by the FBI on January 28th, I say with conviction, as I stand before you this morning, Fulton County elections are safe, Fulton County elections are fair, Fulton County elections are lawful, Fulton County elections are transparent, and every legal vote that is cast is counted. The President of the United States has threatened to nationalize elections and take over elections specifically here in Fulton County, Georgia. And even some state legislators are using that to get 10 seconds of TV time every now and then. But let me be crystal clear about that. We will fight any effort to take over our elections with every resource that we have available to us. That's today, that's tomorrow, and as long as it takes to protect democracy and your right to vote. We will.
So that was one of the largest round of applauses that I heard during that. He went on to encourage those in attendance to vote. And he also won, I think the largest round of applause that I heard during the event today was actually when he was talking about infrastructure. He mentioned that Fulton County's airport, they're going to be extending the runway at the Fulton County Airport, and you will actually be able to take a direct flight to Europe, and that got a big round of applause. You know, if you're not dialed into what's going on in Fulton County, that might be something that you might have missed, but big round of applause there. Definitely a time where Chairman Pitts was able to lay out his vision going forward and then highlight some of the things that have been taking place in Fulton County. Judea?
Billy, I mean, that is huge. Yes, of course, we were looking forward to seeing what he may say about the FBI raid, and I'm also curious as to what the president is going to say about that a little later on. I hope he does bring it up. But that little tip about the airport, knowing that we consider Hartsfield-Jackson that to be the world's busiest airport, it has so many different international hubs, but for Fulton County to be able to do something, it's not exactly to the same caliber, but a flight to Europe is kind of cool. That's pretty big.
Oh, that's right. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, you know, and I hadn't heard that yet, and that got one of the largest round of applauses, I think, of the entire remarks. So we're going to be digging through everything that was said here today. A lot of tidbits that we'll highlight later on in our newscasts, but definitely the energy here was very positive, and just everybody's very happy about continued growth in Fulton County.
That's good to hear. And, you know, I just want to be transparent with our audience. You guys, that big event really just let out. So Billy's coming on to the live stream, kind of trying to get us up to date with everything that he just heard, but does still need to take some time to turn it over for the other broadcast. But Billy, I appreciate you for making some time for us and letting us know what was literally just said. Thank you.
Yeah, just said. I'm actually coming to you from my phone, so I hope you're able to hear me okay.
Yes, perfectly.
But, yep, just wrapped up.
All right, thank you for making the effort. You guys, I want to keep talking to you about some other big things that are happening here right now. You're taking a live look inside the courtroom where the father of the accused Apalachee School shooter is on trial. So his name is Colin Gray. We have been talking about him for quite some time now. I believe today is day 6 of his trial. We've heard from multiple students who were there in the school, some in the classroom, watching their friends, unfortunately, be shot, lose their lives. Some of them shot themselves. And this is from, allegedly, his son who opened fire inside of Apalachee High School. That all taking place in Barrow County here in Georgia. So anyway, the father is on trial because prosecutors are trying to prove that he had knowledge that his son needed help and did not do the right things, take the right steps in order to get him that help. They're suggesting that he also supplied the murder weapon that Colt Gray, allegedly used to carry out that deadly shooting, in which we know 2 students lost their lives, as well as 2 faculty members, 2 teachers. So we'll be keeping our eyes on what's happening out there, bringing you some testimony as well. I will let you know, sometimes it gets very emotional, sometimes it gets graphic, but we'll bring you the latest in just a minute. Now, if you are a big sports fan, here's another big breaking news headline for you. The Braves have decided that it's time for a multi-million-dollar extension on a contract for pitcher Chris Sale, which is crazy because just a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about ending his career with the Braves. But because of this new deal, he's created the opportunity to pitch here in Atlanta for a few more years. We're talking about $27 million worth of a contract, and it includes $30 million as an option for 2028. He'll be turning 37 in just a couple of days. Of course, again, like I said, this is just a crazy deal for him, but, you know, good on him. And he's expected to make a second straight opening day start for the Braves. So again, very, very big deal there. Walt Wise, the Braves manager, spoke up. He says that talking about Chris Sale, he's one of the more impressive big leaguers I've ever been around. Taking everything into consideration, the way he works, the way he competes, the things he's accomplished, he's got zero diva in him. And we're talking about a guy who is a Hall of Famer. You couldn't make it up in the lab any better than what Chris Sale brings. So that's big news out there. If you are a Braves fan, I'm sure we're all excited to see how the season begins. Want to bring in now our meteorologist, Alex Forbes. Alex, crazy news there for the world of sports.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were in the hurt locker in the pitching department after the last 2 weeks, so something needed to happen there.
Something needed to give. But I want to talk to you about the weather this morning. It was really, really cold trying to get out there for a start.
Really cold, and it's not here to last. So that's the good news, all right? So we got down below freezing, and we're now back above freezing here in Atlanta right now. 37 is where we stand, 33 in Canton, 35 in Gainesville, 30 over in Blairsville. But it's the wind, right? It really just cuts right through you. And we are still hanging on to a wind chill this morning. It was down into the teens right around sunrise. Well, now here we are at 11:09, and we're back up to that 32-degree mark. So our temperatures are coming up, and the wind is backing off. The result is a warmer day ahead here across Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. Now, even though the wind is backing off, it's not going away entirely, which does mean through the day today, we are going to have high fire danger. So low humidity and breezy conditions, the combination of the two means that anything that's on the ground that is ignited, like a cigarette butt or maybe even a power line, something like that, would be able to start a fire, and then that fire would be able to unintentionally spread pretty easily.
Whoa.
That is also going for, say, brush fires, right? So you got a big pile of winter debris that you're just dying to get rid of. Today is not the day to do it here in Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. Worth noting, we actually had a wildfire down near the Okefenokee Swamp a couple days ago that grew to almost 200 acres, right? So that's 20 neighborhoods is the way I think about it. And it's just something to keep in the back of your mind through the day today. I know a lot of people aren't thinking about burning, but even if I reach one person who is, that's worth it. So here we go this afternoon. We're going to get into the mid-50s, which is about 15 degrees warmer than we got yesterday. Only topped off at 40 yesterday. Mostly clear skies before we turn partly cloudy later this evening. Speaking of which, sunset tonight is at 6:30. So that continues to get later and later. And as we are now under 2 weeks away from daylight saving time beginning, that's going to push sunsets to after 7:30, and that starts on March 8th here in Metro Atlanta. So here we go into tomorrow. How about that? Even warmer than today. You're going to notice some more cloud cover getting into the low 60s through the afternoon. If we didn't have that cloud cover, we'd be able to go warmer, but not to worry. We will go warmer in the days to come, and that is despite some rain on the way. 80% chance of seeing rain, mainly late Thursday into Friday. I think we'll see some scattered showers really Thursday evening, but then once we get to Friday morning, that's where we're looking for some of that widespread rain before things begin to clear out. So there's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. Now, looking towards the weekend, we could cut it out, we can frame it, we can hang it up in the Louvre.
I sure will.
After the start of the year, every weekend has had something. We had winter weather for like all of January, and then even through February, we had rain on the weekends. 68 and 72 Saturday and Sunday. I will be taking tips. No, I'm kidding. But this weekend's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, no, we appreciate the positive forecast here. Alex and I work weekends, and so knowing that we'll get a little bit of sunshine, just a little bit of warmth, maybe we can actually have some nice plans.
And no headaches while I'm working.
Amen. All right, Alex, thank you for bringing this to us. Of course, we will definitely take this over the blizzard that the Northeast is experiencing. And actually, I want to talk to you guys about that next, because these are historic snowfall that we're talking about here. And it's not just affecting our friends, our family out in New York, Boston, Connecticut. It can also potentially impact us, because we're hearing that with that heavy and dense snow combined with high winds up to 60 miles per hour in some areas, that more than 600,000 people have been left without power. Not just at their homes and at their businesses, but also at airports. We're seeing that a lot of travelers have been left stranded for more than 10,000 flights because they've been canceled nationwide. Nearly 2,000 have already called off for Tuesday, today. So that includes passengers, of course, trying to make their way back to the Peach State, which is why we're talking about it. As of 7:30 a.m. today, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport reported 67 flight cancellations and 32 delays. The airline that was most affected was the Atlanta-based Delta Airlines, with 35 cancellations and 17 delays. So if you were trying to get anywhere, of course, I know you felt this. Like I said, it's not just New York, Connecticut, Boston that we're taking a look at here. It's the impacts that it could have on us, even though we're experiencing some much better weather. With that being said, I want to take a live look out at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Again, much more beautiful day out here in Atlanta. I'm very grateful for it. I'll never not talk about how great it is to have out here this beautiful sunny weather, high degrees. And it's important that we bring all of this up, from the blizzard to out here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, because it's helping us talk about FIFA World Cup. I want to get in our Kevin Egan. He's the host for MLS 360, but also an ambassador for the FIFA World Cup. We're drumming up a lot of excitement this summer, Kevin. But I know right now you're not with us in studio because you are somewhere where it is very cold and a lot of snow has built up.
Facts, Judea, facts. It's so great to join you here. And I'm up in Stamford, Connecticut right now. The snow has stopped, thankfully, and it looks like my flight is going to take place today. So I couldn't make it back to Atlanta yesterday to be with you in studio, but I'm going to try and get on a flight here at about 1 o'clock shortly. So really hope when the flight takes off and we can get back. The blizzard conditions here were insane, absolutely crazy for a lot of people. It really did cause havoc, and for people, traveling to the World Cup, they're going to have to get used to the extremities of American weather. A lot of people from Europe, I think we're very soft over in Europe. We're not used to the extreme heat in Atlanta in the summertime, or the extreme cold in the likes of Connecticut during the winter time. Maybe the altitude in Denver, or the long travel hours between, say, Seattle, Washington, and Miami, Florida. So it's one of those aspects of the World Cup crowd coming in that they wouldn't be used to elsewhere.
All right, well, I mean, you are absolutely correct about that. Knowing that most soccer fans are coming internationally, we're going to have so many people joining us here in Atlanta and a couple of other places, stadiums around the country. Definitely get used to how we do things here. But I do believe we're expecting some pretty good weather here in Atlanta, since it'll be the summer. But talk to me a little bit about what people can expect from the stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, if they want to come in for their first time.
Well, how lucky are we, right? Like, how lucky are we in Atlanta that Arthur Blank had the vision to put a roof over the stadium at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It will be called the Atlanta Stadium during the World Cup for sponsorship reasons with FIFA. But this is, I would say, the best stadium in the world. And that's not hyperbole to say that. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I had the great pleasure of broadcasting the Atlanta United games from 2017 through 2022 on Fox Sports South, and it was just such a joy to be inside that stadium and witness the 17s. And I think the world is going to get to see how wonderful Atlanta is and how great that stadium is. We've got a semi-final where over 1 billion people will be tuned in to a game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's going to be phenomenal.
I can only imagine. And I mean, I'm thinking now about the traffic. That's probably the worst part about all of this. But, we'll all get through it. Kevin, I heard that you have been putting my colleagues to the test lately.
Big time.
Somehow I have avoided this until today. So,
all right, here we go. Here we go. Well, I put Buck to the test last week, and he did really well with a couple of, I'm talking soccer lingo here, words that you need to be aware of. Yeah, exactly. And I've got one for you today. So given we've got the Winter Olympics that's just concluded, what does Olympico mean in soccer, Judea?
Well, I'm assuming it has nothing to do with the Olympics.
Well done.
I got nothing.
Olympico is when you score directly from a corner kick. That is what an Olympico is. Lionel Messi has scored a few goals in his career directly from a corner. Obviously, it's incredibly difficult. You want to try and hit that far post, and it's just an incredible goal when that's scored. Here, let's go one more. What about the 12th man? If I was to say to you, the 12th man or the 12th woman. I know this one. This is talking about the fans, right? Yes, it is. It's when your supporters can be the 12th man in that regard, and they get behind the team, and that's certainly what I'm hoping for. If Ireland can make the World Cup this summer, that we'll be the 12th man, and we'll bring it, and we'll try and help the guys get over the line. Well, that'll be really exciting. Hey, Kevin, we have a couple of more minutes with you, so I want to talk a little bit more about what we can expect. I know there are a lot of big stars headed our way for the World Cup, and I mean, not just big on the field and in their sports, but also big on social media, right? Yeah, massive, absolutely enormous. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is the big one. 670 million followers on Instagram alone. He's the most followed person on Instagram. Lionel Messi's the second most followed, 511 million followers. And this is a fascinating graphic for me because we have in Major League Soccer now, MLS, we have 3 of the top 5 most followed athletes playing sports in North America. So we've got Messi at number 1. James Rodriguez has recently joined Minnesota United, the Colombian superstar, and Luis Suarez from Uruguay. Luis Suarez is playing in Miami. We also have, Thomas Muller, a World Cup champion in Vancouver. Son Heung-min is the most popular Asian athlete on the planet, far surpassing even Shohei Ohtani, who everybody in North America will know. Son Heung-min is an absolute megastar around the world. So it's happening more and more. Antoine Griezmann, who has 40 million followers on Instagram alone, again, surpassing anybody, say, from MLB, for example, or NFL. Tom Brady has 15 million followers. Griezmann, who's coming to the league, expected to be confirmed today or tomorrow. Griezmann to Orlando, he's got 40. So the soccer landscape is shifting, I think, in this country. So many megastars are coming to America, and I think that's only going to continue after the World Cup. Which is so interesting to me because, I mean, to be honest, we think of here in America, like football, baseball, that's our king. But then
when other people are trying to grasp their heads around or wrap their heads around why FIFA World Cup was such a big deal to get here, but specifically to get here in Atlanta, it's like you just said there, those stars are mega stars. So just because you might not watch soccer here, like all around the world, it is a much bigger deal. And I think those numbers just show.
And that's my job with you guys, you know, each and every week, you know, to join you guys and just have fun, chatting the beautiful game, and make sure that, you know, those of you watching at home, that when the World Cup arrives, you have that little bit of knowledge about what's going on, so that you can actually enjoy it and dive in and embrace it.
All right, Kevin, I'll let you go in a second, but I'm watching our TikTok live chat, and someone said nobody's going to come. Can you just talk about the number of people we're expecting just here in Atlanta alone?
Yeah, that person on TikTok needs to realize we're going to have over 500,000 people come to Atlanta alone. 500,000 people. So every game will be sold out at the Benz. We've got fans coming from, whether it's Spain or Morocco or Haiti will bring the party. They haven't been at a World Cup since 1974. Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde, as they say, it's an island nation off the west coast of Africa with 10 islands. Their first ever World Cup appearance. And they are going to come and they are going to party and they're going to have fun, and we're going to welcome them all in.
Amen. You said it there best. Thank you so much, Kevin, for making some time to join us. I'm glad to hear that your flight is back on, so you'll be able to get out and hopefully be able to join us next week here at Fox 5 Atlanta in person. We'd love to see you. But I appreciate your time.
Take care.
Bye. All right, you guys, still ahead. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to dive back into the Colin Gray trial. Hopefully you take a live look inside the courtroom, but if not, I have some testimony from one of Colin Gray's colleagues who's he's able to talk more about his home life, who he was outside of this big case that we're looking at now, and it might give us some perspective into what happened with his son, Cole. So we'll talk more about that when we come back. Hi guys, welcome back to Fox 5 News Live. I'm Judea Murray. I want to get into the trial right now. It's literally happening as we speak, where Colin Gray, the father of the man or young boy accused of opening fire in a school, killing 2 students and 2 teachers, he is in court right now. We've been hearing from testimony from a couple of different people. For example, yesterday we heard from the mother of Colt Gray, the accused school shooter. We also, before then, heard from the grandmother grandmother of that accused school shooter. Now, today, there have been a couple of people that have come up to the mic already. Before I got on with you guys, I know we heard from one of Colin Gray's colleagues, and the point here, we're trying to learn a little bit more about who he was as, you know, just a person, not so much as a father or how we may see him now as a potential suspect, but who he was as a person leading up to this deadly incident that carried out at Apalachee High School in Barrow County, Georgia. So this person we'll hear from was the senior project manager for Kevin Price Construction. He worked alongside Colin and talked a little bit about what kind of worker he was. Let's listen in together.
You can raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself to the jury and spell your last name for the court reporter?
I'm George Clackham. Last name is C-L-A-C-K-U-M.
And what do you do, Mr. Clackham?
I'm a senior project manager for Kevin Price Construction.
And you said, so you work for Kevin Price Construction. What does a senior project manager do?
He manages mostly the administration side, but some field work as well of construction projects.
Okay. And how many projects are you working on at one time?
Somewhere between 2 and 3 usually.
Back around May of 2024, did Colin Gray start working for Kevin Price Construction as well?
Yes, he did.
And what position did he hold?
He was a superintendent for us.
And what exactly is a superintendent?
They kind of manage the subcontractors and the day-to-day operations of the project itself.
So whereas you're working on kind of overseeing several projects on the administrative side, the superintendent will be solely working on one project generally?
Most of the time, unless the project's finishing up or just starting, then there may be some overlap.
Okay. And did you work with Colin Gray?
I did.
In what capacity?
He was the superintendent on projects that I was managing as a construction manager.
How much interaction did y'all have?
We usually had every day we'd have some interaction, sometimes all day long, sometimes just, a few times a day.
And what was his general work schedule?
He usually worked either from 7 to 3:30 or 7:30 to 4. But a lot of times they would work later than that in the day.
Okay. And would you be there on a daily basis knowing what time he left or didn't leave?
I would not.
Okay. If Mr. Gray had a child care issue or emergency, would he have been able to leave work early or miss work?
Yes, as long as he lets people know what was going on.
And how would he have gone about doing that? Who would he have contacted?
A few times he texted me and said, told me something was going on, or he would call the president or the vice president of the company.
Was his job flexible in that way, and that if he did need to leave, he could?
Yes.
And you indicated that he did from time to time take advantage of that flexibility?
Yes, just a few times over the...
I'm going to draw your attention to September 4th. What project was Colin Gray working on at that time?
He was on, at that time, he was on Forsyth County fire stations.
Okay.
There was 2 different fire stations up there.
And are they in the same area?
They're about 30 minutes apart.
And then Forsyth County, what city is that?
Cumming.
Was he present at the work site on September 4th?
Yes.
And that morning, where were you located?
I was actually I'd gone by the fire station in Barrow County that we just finished just to check on some things there, and then I was on my way to the office, but never got to the office.
And where's your office located?
It's in Athens.
Was anyone being fired that day or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
And at some point that morning, did you receive a call from Colin Gray?
I did.
Okay. And you indicated that you never got to the Athens office. Was that on your way to Athens?
Right.
Do you remember around what time it was?
It was morning, probably somewhere around 9 or 10, I'm guessing.
Okay.
But that's just a guess.
And what did he say in that phone call?
He said that the school had called and his son had broken his arm and he needed to go to get him.
So he told you that he needed to go pick up his son because his son had broken his arm?
Yes.
Did he indicate which son had broken his arm?
I don't remember that indicated which son.
What was his demeanor like, how did he sound when he said his son had broken his arm?
Just matter of fact, no, not really emotional in any kind of way.
And the phone call was, I know you said around 9 or 10, but from the phone records it was around 11:15. At that time, had you heard yet about the Apalachee school shooting?
I had been listening to the radio earlier in the morning, and I heard there was a shooter, but didn't pay attention to where school, what school it was or anything associated with it.
So at that point, did you know that it was at the school that Colin Gray's son went to?
I did not.
Later that day or early the next morning, were you forwarded an email from Mr. Gray?
Yes, I was.
And who forwarded it to you?
My boss, Kevin Price.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 181.
Can I see that real fast?
Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that as?
It's an email that Coley had sent to Kevin concerning something he had to do the next morning.
Okay. And is it a fair and accurate copy of the email that Coley, or the defendant, sent to Kevin Price, and then that Kevin Price then forwarded to you?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to introduce into evidence State Exhibit 181.
No objection.
We're going to go ahead and publish it for the jury. So this email was sent on September 4th at 10:47 p.m. And can you read what Coley Gray wrote in that email?
I'm sorry for the late email tonight. My son had an issue today at school. I have to meet with his school in the morning. I will give you after I meet his teachers and counselors. I will get with George in the morning as well as Andrew and give him a rundown on who is coming to the job. Thank you both for everything. Again, sorry to reach out so late, Coley.
Thank you, Mr.
And so that email that we just heard, if you're listening along with us on the radio, if you're watching us, you just saw it on your screen, that email that he was just talking about dates September 4th, that Colin Gray was telling his colleagues, his boss, that his son had an incident at school. Well, that incident turned out to be the Apalachee High School shooting that he is now on trial for. So just to let you know, Colin Gray is facing 29 counts. That includes 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors say that he should be held accountable as well for giving his son the gun that he then is accused of using to carry out that mass shooting. He said it was a Christmas gift, despite warning signs that the teen's mental health was maybe a little unstable and that he had the ability to harm people and had expressed that. So again, that's what the prosecutors are trying to prove at this point in time. So you just heard from a colleague. It's supposed to paint a better picture for us of who exactly Colin Gray was, outside of just being the parent, outside of being somebody who's on trial in a case right now, but just who he was as a worker, a man, a human being. So if you missed any part of this trial, we are live streaming it every single day on YouTube. You can go back and watch any day that you may have missed in all of the days ahead. We are keeping up live and also writing up a recap, I guess you could say, about each day as they happen. So coming up, there's a cool exhibit on display right now. Our Chris Rothasol went to check it out. It's all about World War II, and we'll get into what you can see if you'd like to go out and check it out when we come back. Welcome back to Fox 5 News Live. Here at Fox 5 Atlanta, we're actually celebrating Spirit Week, and I believe today is Decades Day. So a lot of people have been picking a certain decade in order to dress up as and show their support or just excitement, their spirit for a certain decade here. Now, we know that there's an exhibit right here in Georgia that we can go out to. Kennesaw State University is bringing us to it, and this will take us back to, I guess you'd say, the late 30s, early to mid 40s. I want to get right out to our Chris Rosenthal, who will talk to us more about what this is all about. Chris, take it away.
Hey, yeah, Judea. So I am at the commemorative Air Force Air Base, Georgia, here in Peachtree City, where they actually are having a traveling World War II exhibit from KSU. And we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. But first, I want to introduce you to Mark Richards here. He is with the commemorative Air Force Air Base, Georgia here. And first of all, tell me a little bit about what this place is here.
Well, Air Base Georgia is a part of the Commemorative Air Force, which is headquartered in Dallas, Texas. So we're an extension of them. And our mission is to educate, inspire, and honor through flight and living history the greatest generation of all time. And we do that through education programs and also through the restoration and preservation of World War II vintage aircraft, which we restore and maintain in flight status and fly them on a regular basis.
And these are all World War II aircraft that are flyable, huh?
That is correct, sir.
This one, let's talk about this one here, because this one ties in with the exhibit we're going to take a look at here in a second.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one and one of my favorites. This is a PT-19 Cornell trainer, which was manufactured in November of 1943 and flown for the first time by a woman Air Force service pilot from the manufacturer to Moton Field in Tuskegee, Alabama. And to our knowledge, this is the only airworthy PT-19 Tuskegee trainer in the world still flying that actually trained some of the Tuskegee Airmen during World War II.
Speaking of Tuskegee Airmen, let's go take a look at this KSU exhibit, and tell me a little bit about this exhibit that you guys have here. It's in the other room, and how did this come to be?
One of our members here is associated with KSU, and we learned about these, wanted to feature these, and so we asked about it, and we were very fortunate enough to get the Georgia Journeys exhibit from KSU, which really showcases the lives of World War II veterans, hometown workers, Holocaust survivors, people from the state of Georgia.
Yeah, people from the state of Georgia, or maybe they ended up here after the war, or
ended up here, yes.
Had some sort of a connection. We have Holocaust survivors that found their way to Georgia after the war. There's 8 people highlighted here. We were talking about that Tuskegee Airman plane here. This gentleman here, Hilliard Pouncey, what do we know about him? He may have flown that plane.
Hilliard Pouncey may have actually flown that aircraft out there. We don't know, but that is the type of aircraft that he would have trained in as a Tuskegee Airman. As you can see that he enrolled into the Tuskegee Institute in 1940. He became a bombardier in the 477th Bombardment Group. Afterwards, he served another 17 years in the military force in the Air Force Reserve, and we just recently lost him in December of this last year at 103 years old. So great history about one of our Tuskegee Airmen that we're so proud to display this this display today that honors him, and we actually have one of the aircraft that we hope he flew, and
it's an amazing time, amazing connection. He retired here. He and his wife. His wife was a school teacher. We can't get to everybody, obviously, but we have Jane Tucker here. I mean, she was we hear about Rosie the Riveter. She was one of those, huh?
Yes, she was. You think of Rosie the Riveter as those that put aircraft together, but Jane here, she actually worked as a shipbuilder in Savannah, Georgia, earning $1.20 an hour as a welder. She worked a long 10-hour shifts 6 days a week in the shipyard that produced 88 Liberty ships in 4 years. Jane is still alive at 97 years old. I believe she's in Loganville, Georgia. And after the war, she finished her high school degree, became a dental hygienist, and settled in Rome, Georgia.
Yeah, and you have to see it. Schneider here. She was a Holocaust survivor. She lost most of her family, and but she eventually made her way to the States, got married, moved to Atlanta, and her husband worked at Georgia Tech even. So just a lot of really rich stories here. You can come see this exhibit here at the commemorative Air Base here in Peachtree City. It's 1200 Echo Court here, and it's free. It's completely free. You can come Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays to come check out this exhibit, and also check out those really amazing planes that they have in the back there. You can get tours of those as well, Mark.
Absolutely,
right?
And yes, that's correct, and it's all free. We're here Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, as you said, from 9 to 4. We have docents who will give you a guided tour and talk about the history of all these aircraft and take you through the machine shop, and we'll show you a little later the Lynx trainer that they train on.
That'll be cool. Can't wait for that. But yeah, again, you can come on down here, Peachtree City. This exhibit here, the Georgia Journeys exhibit, this is again from Kennesaw State University. It'll be here till March 6th.
Chris, this is so cool to witness, and I'm really happy that you started with that artifact. I'll call it an artifact that may have carried some of the Tuskegee Airmen, especially as we round out Black History Month. And as I'm looking at this, my grandfather is actually a World War II veteran. He's from Georgia, Byronville. So it's kind of like a full circle moment for me to then look back at our history. I'm thinking as well that parents of children who might be homeschooled, they may really enjoy something like this. You can get a hands-on lesson in history and see those aircrafts. It's pretty cool. Tell us one more time where this is. I know you've given us the address a couple of times, but one more time.
Yeah, this is at the Commemorative Air Force Air Base, Georgia, which is it's in Peachtree City. It's right by the airport, and on 1200 Echo Court down here in Peachtree City. Again, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Come on out.
So cool, and I love that it is free. All right, you guys, that has been our Chris Rosenthal reporting for us. We'll catch up with him a little later on in the live stream, so if you want to take another look back out here, make sure that you are sticking around with us. All right, I want to talk to you about a story that I know all of you guys have seen on social media. A lot of you guys have been paying attention to this. First, I want to get you a picture. Maybe you have seen this young man on your social media platforms. Yes, there we go. There's the picture that I'm talking about. That is 21-year-old Kyle Bassinga. So you may have seen him, you may have heard of him, because out on social media there's some reports that he was found hanging in a park in Marietta. Now today, literally happening right now as I speak, the New Order National Human Rights Organization is holding a candlelight prayer vigil for him and for his family. Again, he is that 21-year-old man who was found, his body, in Fair Oaks Park in Marietta, and so the details are very gruesome, but they suggest that he was hanging from a tree. News of Kyle's death has been lighting up social media like wildfire. We know that there have been a lot of questions and a lot of rumors, maybe even suggesting that he had been lynched. But here's what authorities are saying, and I really want to stress that law enforcement, they're waiting to give us more details, they say, because they want to talk to the family first. They feel they owe it to the family to talk to them about some of these details that they are calling tragic, and they say they have sensitive facts to give. They want to talk to the family first, and they say the only reason they haven't done that just yet because they're waiting for one family member to travel here in the U.S. from outside the country. So now, again, Cobb County leaders, they've put out multiple statements. They're telling the community that right now they have no evidence that pointed to another person being involved in the death of this young man. Again, they're saying that this was a tragedy, and they're saying that it has sensitive facts. They want to talk to Kyle's family first about the investigation before they release any other details to the public. Again, they're saying they're waiting for one family member to travel here from outside of the country. But still, New Order was determined to host their candlelight vigil, so it's happening right now as we speak. So far, we have not heard from Kyle's family. I reached out directly to New Order to see if they had been in conversation with the family. They say they haven't talked to them directly, but through friends, they have gotten out word that they're doing this candlelight vigil, and they suggest that the family is okay with it and that they support it. So that is happening right now out at the park at Fair Oaks Park in Marietta. If you are nearby and you want to get out to it, check it out, maybe pay your respects. Again, that's happening as we speak. All right, and there are some new felony theft charges for a contractor. I want to go back over the story because it is trending right now for Fox 5 Atlanta, so that means to me that a lot of you guys are interested in this case. So new charges have been filed against a Cobb County construction contractor following a Fox 5 report that we put out last August. It regards Nathan Gividen and the $17,000 that he allegedly took for a garage that, according to officials, was never built. Since our report in August, the Noya police say that they've been flooded with phone calls from at least 30 other people who have alleged that similar bad business dealings have gone on between them and Gividen. And as a result, the police have filed 5 additional charges of felony theft by conversion. And the new 5 cases involve over $150,000. So they have noted that Gividen's builder's license has been expired. His business license has recently been revoked, and he's being held right now in the Cobb County Jail. Police are saying that you homeowners out there, if this sounds horrific to you right now, there's something you can do, and that is protect yourself in the future. They say always do your homework. You can check a contractor's status with the Secretary of State's office as well as your local government's office. So if you have somebody that you'd like to work on your home, you've gotten a referral from someone else, make sure you go and check, double check their references, their business license, all of that with the Secretary of State's office as well as your local government office before you let them touch your home. This is a big one out there. Last but not least, I want to take a second to talk to you a little bit more about the Mexican cartel and this violence that we're seeing erupt over in Mexico. This is all over a cartel kingpin that was killed. Violence broke out at a popular tourist destinations out in Mexico over this weekend, all over the death of a notorious drug kingpin. And now some Americans are telling us that they're out there in Mexico and they're effectively trapped. We talked to a couple of them. They let us know what they were feeling. Before I get to their sound bites, I want to talk to you a little bit more about what we are actually seeing on the grounds here. So this is all over the death of El Mencho. He's one of the country's most powerful cartel leaders, and so we're seeing chaos erupt at the Mexico airport. Mexican Army says that 59-year-old El Mencho was captured on Sunday in the state of Jalisco, and he died while on an airlift to Mexico City. Cartel members responded with arson attacks, and that prompted the State Department to issue a shelter in place, and they've warned Americans in Puerto Vallarta and the surrounding area that you may be in danger, you need to hunker down. The White House says that the U.S. provided intelligence support for the military operation, and President Donald Trump says he's been pressuring Mexico to crack down on drug cartels, and he's threatened possible military action if the country did not act. So now several airlines have canceled flights to popular tourist spots in the region because of all of the unrest, and experts say that the security situation on the ground could potentially get worse before it ever gets better. So I'm telling you all this now just in case you've got some vacation time coming up. Maybe you were planning to head out to these certain parts of Mexico, and that may need to change. You may need to look out at your airline on your phone, your app, and see if your flight is still on. Mexican officials say that dozens of people have been killed in the violence, including at least 25 members of the country's National Guard. Now, remember I told you we got to speak to some people who are on the grounds who tell us that they have not been able to get home. I want to let you listen in to some of them.
It was surreal because we're going to the airport and we're dodging burned out cars in the middle of the street.
There's no coming in and out of the city unless you own a vehicle.
All right, so you heard it from them. They say if you don't have a vehicle, there's probably not a way for you to get out of the city. And then flying, of course, right now is not an option, according to officials. So that's the latest that we have there on that. Now, when we come back, there was a heartfelt, emotional plea from the Guthrie family. As we know, we are still looking for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. She's been missing for, I think, 3 weeks now. So we'll have this new plea from the Guthrie family when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back to Fox 5 News Live. There is a new reward being offered, this time not by the FBI or some local police organization, but by the Guthrie family itself. So we just heard, probably not even an hour ago, from Savannah Guthrie via social media. Her family is now offering $1 million, but they say they want their mother to be returned home safely. They're also saying that you can call the FBI and leave an anonymous tip. I want to let you listen in from Savannah herself, how she wants you guys to proceed with this investigation.
Hi there. I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then, of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her, We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying, of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves, and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000.
So as you heard there, Savannah Guthrie is putting out one more plea, hoping that someone out there knows any information, can identify the suspect that they do believe took her mother. But what we know so far about that case is now her family is offering $1 million for any information that someone can give. You can anonymous call 1-800-CALL-FBI. All right, so there you have it there. There's so much more news that we've got to get to today. The news does continue at noon.
We're following the latest developments in the Colin Gray trial. A GBI agent just took the stand. We'll tell you what she had to say and why her testimony is key for the prosecution. And breaking news at this hour, Kirk Cousins' time in Atlanta is coming to an end. The team announces plans to release the veteran QB. We'll hear from the Falcons GM on why.
Alex, we are talking about a warm-up today across Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. Temperatures, already above the freezing mark. We'll talk about the days ahead, which include 70s. Details are coming up in your Fox 5 Storm Team forecast.
Well, new at noon, a Metro Atlanta nonprofit held a prayer vigil about an hour ago for Kyle Bassinga, who's